Oh my God. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Just yesterday, no spoilers for Deadpool Wolverine, so if you haven't seen this, go check out that video if you want to hear a no spoilers review. But this is a full spoilers Deadpool and Wolverine breakdown, reaction, review, whatever you want to call it. I loved the movie Deadpool Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds on screen together, getting to be these characters. It is awesome. I'm so glad they went with Deadpool and Wolverine rather than Deadpool and Friend as a title. So Deadpool Wolverine was great. I loved them walking through the fire here, even though this doesn't happen necessarily in the movie, but Peggy in the middle, love that. But the ketchup and mustard next to each other on screen, the red and the yellow right next to each other, the way that there's cut marks and stab marks all over Wolverine and on Deadpool, right? You can see in the side of his head on his mask, he's got scratched from Wolverine's metal claws, and he's stabbed in the arm and all over the place. I loved their interactions, them together. Seeing them together like this, I was like, oh my God, I really do love Deadpool Wolverine. And I was like, oh, the little hands. Like, you know, I love Deadpool Wolverine. And I can't believe these two characters haven't been on screen the whole time. And Ryan Reynolds posted some cute things the other day with his wife and Blake Lively. She's kissing Deadpool. I would never kiss that ugly face like that with hair stapled to his head. Oh, God. Deadpool himself is so disgusting looking, but then you see Ryan Reynolds and you're like, wow, Ryan Reynolds is kind of a handsome guy. Blake Lively, sexy as hell. Look at her in that full red jumpsuit. As soon as I saw this jumpsuit, I was like, oh, she's gotta be Ladypool. Now, this is spoilers. You've been warned. Get the fuck out of here if you don't want to hear Deadpool Wolverine spoilers. It doesn't get necessarily confirmed in the movie that Blake Lively is Lady Deadpool. We don't know these things. We don't know if it's Lady Deadpool or not. But if you read the credits, Ladypool was Blake Lively. Kidpool was their daughter. We all thought Walker Scoville was going to be in there somewhere. You know, there's a whole Deadpool corpse. And I thought we were going to get more cameos there. And thought we really should have and could have. You know, just a couple of these Deadpools unmasking themselves. Like, there was only really one other Deadpool that was unmasked, and he was named Nice Pool, which to me, I called him more like Samurai Pool. But I guess he was Nice Pool, and he couldn't regenerate, and he was the owner of Peggy, the dog pool. So, you know, he has to go. So Ryan Reynolds can get his gold Desert Eagles and the dog pool, and, you know, she can choose her own master. But yes, Blake Lively was Ladypool the whole time, and I am shocked she was like there in the costume on set, and she didn't friggin' show her face. You know, I would have. Maybe it was just a stunt woman, and then they just had Blake Lively like do the voice a little bit. There was rumors that the cowboy pool was voiced by Matthew McConaughey, and it might have been. I didn't check. I didn't see that one in the credits. It went by too fast. I'm a slow reader. My bad. But like, if it was, how do you get him just voicing the role and you don't see his face? You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see some other Deadpools, like kind of like how in Loki you saw other Lokis that looked like Tom Hiddleston, but then you saw a black boastful Loki. You saw Richard E. Grant as the classic old Loki. You saw Kid Loki. You saw Alligator Loki. I wanted to see some more. You know, we did see Dogpool. There is an Animal Avengers currently getting formed. Dogpool, Alligator Loki, Frog Thor. Like, it's weird that it's happened 3 times. You know what I'm saying? But villain-wise, Cassandra Nova and Paradox, I dug them, but like I wasn't necessarily afraid of them. And maybe if they showed him destroying another universe, it would have felt more of a threat for him to destroy this universe. But the whole time I was like, oh, Deadpool's gonna stop him, it's alright. You know, like I didn't have any thought in my mind that the universe was going to get destroyed. I had only the thought in my mind that they were going to save the day, and of course they do. But like, I wish they put a little bit more doubt in our minds, like, oh fuck, maybe they can't do this, you know, like. But Tom Wambsgans, Matthew McFadden as Paradox, is pretty much just his character Tom Wambsgans. as a British guy in the TVA instead of a New York accent guy in Succession. You know what I mean? But I liked him. I liked that he got punched in the face by Deadpool or Wolverine, one of the two. But like he prunes them, and that's how it all like starts, and they're in the void and stuff like that. You know, most of this stuff, like all the Easter eggs and stuff that are in this, mostly come from the trailers. Like we figured out most of this stuff, but what we didn't necessarily figure out, but we thought might have been coming, were a couple cameos. And we know Jennifer Gardner had gotten confirmed by like the Hollywood Reporter like months ago, but she wasn't in the trailer. So I was like, okay, that's just a little weird that the Hollywood Reporter, like a pretty well-known company, would report something like that. And then like Jennifer Gardner be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not in the movie. What do you know? I don't know anything you're talking about. And then we also know that Daphne Keane was shown at the last second in trailer spots, and that apparently was because Daphne Keane wanted to go to the red carpet premiere and they didn't want her there, and that spoil her being in the movie. And Disney marketing also wanted to feel more of the heartfelt story of Deadpool Wolverine. Also, that just being said, heartfelt story and stuff like that, it certainly has heartfelt vibes, but Kevin Feige said this was the most wholesome rated R movie ever. I don't know if it's that, but if you're wondering if you have a kid and you want to go see this, I would say if your kid can hear vulgar language and know that he's not supposed to repeat it at school, that would be a big one. And if he knows that gory, gratuitous violence and blood is just a movie and that's just part of the movie, I think he'll be alright. But if they don't do well with blood and they can't hear crazy language, that's pretty much it. But there's not really, you know, crazy sexual scenes like there is with Deadpool 1 with him and Vanessa fucking all over the different holidays. There's nothing sexual really, other than, you know, a couple sexual innuendos with the start of the movie, which they do go back to Logan, literally, and I think that's hilarious. But as much as this is a spoiler review and stuff, I still want you to go see it for yourself. I don't want to break down and tell you everything that happens. Comment below, though, that opening scene, out of the 3 movies, and this third one, the Logan scene, if you know, you know. How did you like the opening credits? Was this the best one out of the 3? I think so. Although the first one was so unexpected and just how they did it was awesome. And then the second one was unexpected too. They fridge Vanessa and then all of a sudden it's like, written by, what the fuck, did you just kill her? You know, like that one was funny too. And going back and rewatching those, I'm very glad I've done a complete Marvel rewatch recently because of most of these cameos, you know, are not necessarily newer movies. But let's get into that, I guess. Huge spoilers, and they brought them out on Thursday night at Hall H and Comic-Con. Kevin Feige, they watched the entire movie, and then they brought out these spoiler-filled people. And the Avengers that we get assembled in this are Daphne Keane, X-23 Laura, Jennifer Gardner, Elektra from the 2004 or 5 movie, which I rewatched on the channel, review up on the channel, go check that out. Emma Corrin, obviously, is Cassandra Nova. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. Historically, we had thought from Blade 3, Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes were not friends and they hated each other. That might have been true, but they might have patched their relationship to do this movie because Wesley Snipes is back as Blade, which I had rewatched those 3 movies. Those are all pretty damn good. Or but the second one is phenomenal. I can't say anything bad about Blade 2. That was actually a damn good movie. But, you know, the 3 Blade movies, they're still very Wesley Snipes, rated R, Blade, and Marvel's been struggling to make Blade. And one of the comments that Blade makes in this movie is, I'm the only Blade, and I always will be. And Deadpool looks straight into camera. I died laughing. I was like, oh my god, the call out. I can't believe Marvel let Wesley Snipes say this about Marvel. You know, like what? And then we got a huge, the biggest cameo for me, especially coming off of X-Men 97, because I was thoroughly impressed and loved the character of Gambit. Come on, Shara, mon ami. you go, like he had this like crazy French thick accent, like Louisiana, like, oh, it's super thick. And Channing Tatum gets to finally be this character. There was originally a Gambit movie with Channing Tatum that was stuck in development hell and never got off the ground, and he always wanted to play the character, and here we are in the void. Finally, Gambit in the MCU, Channing Tatum, and he looked great. The only complaint I had was he looked a little thick. I was like, Channing, you could have slimmed up for this, I think, I'm just saying, I get it, he's older, he's not the skinny Channing Tatum that I remember from when I was younger doing Step Up or Step Up 2 or goddamn Magic Mike. He's not in Magic Mike shape. Still in good shape, not in Magic Mike shape. Can't fault the guy for that. I'm a fat bastard. I thought the Gambit costume looked a little thick. But it was still fucking awesome to see him be Gambit. And I'm gonna have to watch this movie twice to 3 more times just to figure out what the fuck he was saying. Because there was a couple times his accent was so thick that the whole crowd went, "What did he say?" And then Deadpool went, "What the fuck did you just say?" And that got a huge laugh. Because everyone in my audience all turned to the person next to him and said, "What did he say?" And then Deadpool confirmed all of us by going, "Oh yeah, you didn't hear what he said. Neither did I." Right? Like, we were like, "Oh, okay, cool. Deadpool's with us." But seeing Channing Tatum back, oof, I'm so glad I didn't get this one spoiled for me. Now, I thought he was going to be back, but we had no real confirmations on this. But seeing him in the costume, with the gloves, with the headpiece, with the hair, with the purple glowing beam, with the cards, so awesome. Love to see it. And I hope to God we get Gambit. Even Elektra, she was great, and she didn't get too much going on, but she was still great. Laura, seeing Daphne Keane as an older X-23 is so badass. Love to see that. And even seeing Blade back, right? Like Wesley Snipes back as Blade, I was like, there's no way. And he drops a fucking banger line that my entire audience loved. Clearly we had a bunch of Blade fans in the house, because he goes, "Motherfucker's still ice skating uphill." And everyone cracked up laughing. I was like, either that was just a good timed joke, or everyone understood that joke from Blade, which I died laughing, man. I really did. We were laughing the entire time. I went and saw this with my buddy Langone. Quick little insert. I would be absolutely remiss if I forgot to talk about this cameo. But I also realized in going back and editing this video that I missed 2 or 3 other people that maybe you can consider cameos. Wolverine himself cameos a bunch of times as a short King Wolverine, comic book accurate short Wolverine. Furry, hairy, Hugh Jackman's face. It looks a little strange, but it's still hilarious. And there's also like a patch Wolverine, an actual Old Man Logan that shoots Wade with a shotgun, and a few others, but it goes by so fast that like I can't even remember all of them. The big one for the Wolverine cameos, everyone thought it was going to be Daniel Radcliffe or Taron Egerton. They swore that Patch was somebody else because the back and the hair didn't look like Hugh Jackman. I never agreed with that. I was always like, I know my boy Hugh Jackman. That's the back of his head and his back and broad ass shoulders sitting at that table. And they were like, it's too slender a build. I'm like, he's not a fat man. He's always been slender because he's always been ripped for all of these roles. What are you guys talking about? But either way, Henry Cavill isn't, right? No Taron Egerton, no Daniel Radcliffe. Henry Cavill as Wolverine for a brief moment, and then just kind of stabs Wolverine, and he ends up going to, I think, our Wolverine after that. And the one that ends up in the movie, Hugh Jackman's in the yellow suit. And just one more time, how good that yellow goddamn suit looks with the claws, and how good the claws look this movie. You know, sometimes they look a little fake, but I'm glad these ones I think are more prosthetic, like, you know, actually, maybe not Blade, but like there's something actually there instead of CGI'd in, so they look good. There's a couple parts with Wolverine that turned CGI in this movie, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I loved that. But most of the action I did love. But my biggest cameo that is really a character, I can't. It's hard to call them cameos because like Henry Cavill was a cameo, but Chris Evans back not as Captain America. They faked us out. I saw the blue on his glove and the red, and I was like, he's back as Captain America in this? Because then my mind went crazy, like, oh my god, maybe this is Endgame Cap, and that old man Cap might be a ploy, you know, like, might just be like Hydra or something trying to get Sam Wilson to be Cap and be like, oh, forget about Steve Rogers. I have never forgot about Steve Rogers. I want my boy back so bad. But getting him as Human Torch Johnny Storm was just as good. And it was hilarious because his Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four movies back in 2005 or whatever, he was raunchy. He was more, you know, of a dick, you know, so, and in this he swears a whole lot, and as you see Chris Evans and we think of him as Captain America and you see him swearing, it makes us go, language Cap, oh! But then it works because it's Johnny Storm, and then he brutally gets murdered by Cassandra Nova, so that sucks, but man, did we laugh this movie. I had a great time. But back to the actual clip, you could tell this one's a different clip filmed after because look at the new shelf editions. I love the look at my fingers fucking us. No, stop. Thank you guys. Please watch the rest of the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Absolutely love this movie. If you didn't see my spoiler-free review, I gave this movie 4 out of 5 stars. About 8.5 to 8.7 out of 10, but if on Letterboxd, I'm going to give it about a 4 out of 5. I think it's a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's a great movie. I just really would have wanted to see a little bit more how and a little bit more why visually, right? Like, I understand, like, people on Twitter being fucking assholes that they are, have to comment, even though I was asking somebody else a question that was saying, hey, do you have any questions for me? Then some other people start answering on the internet. I'm like, listen, I didn't ask you for your input, but okay. I'm a more of a visual learner, you know, so I wanted just to see a little bit more why Paradox was doing what he was doing. See a little bit more why Cassandra Nova was in that compound. I would have loved to see how they got that compound. How is Scott Giant Man dead and they're using his body as a fucking corpse, you know, like whatever, as a base. Crazy. I would have loved to see why those Fox people are in the void. Where is the void now? I still have a theory going that the void currently, because, you know, in Loki, it was a flat circle, and the void was at the end of time, and to get to the Citadel at the end of time, they had to go through Eliath. And Eliath was blocking the Citadel at the end of time, so if at the end of time was at the end of a flat circle that just loops back on itself, it was at, like, the center of time, where the Citadel was. So I'm thinking Loki himself is holding together the timelines in the middle of the tree, but the void is at the bottom of the tree, because it's not a flat circle anymore, it's a tree. So where would the end of time be if it was in the sacred timeline that's now a tree? I think the void is in the roots, at the bottom. And why are all these Fox Universe people in the void? Because they were the roots of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Blade, the roots. Elektra, the roots. Even Gambit, a movie that was going to get made but didn't get made. That is still coherently a part of the MCU that is now today. And we are in a very different place. And some people, like I talked to my buddy Danny Hines the other day, he thinks that Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has ruined the MCU and that they're changing everything that I liked. No, they're not, buddy. I love you, Danny, and I really do, but everything that you said is such a you feeling, right? Like, there's plenty of people on the internet that probably feel like him and think that the feminist movement is why that all these women characters are coming to the screen, and fuck Miss Marvel and fuck She-Hulk and fuck all these people. They're changing everything. I don't think it's a change at all. I like, if it is a change, I like change. I like new stuff. I like Star Wars, Marvel. All the stuff that's already out isn't going anywhere, right? Like, if I want to experience what it was like to be in the first 3 phases of Marvel, you just go back and watch those phases of Marvel. I currently love the future of where we're heading. And some people, his only real valid complaint was that he was there for Marvel for all the interconnectivity between movies. Now, I 100% agree on that. Phase 4 has felt the most unconnected of the Marvel phases. But I think that's temporary. I think just like the prequels for Star Wars, 10 years from now, people are going to look back on this phase and be like, oh, I loved this phase. I loved how it started out Shang-Chi. I love how it started the new Black Panther, Shuri's story. I love how it gave us T'Challa's son. I love how Moon Knight gave us Oscar Isaac as this 3 different characters, but he's the same character. I loved his villain, Ethan Hawke. You know, like, there's plenty of things in Phase 4 that I absolutely loved, and he was like, oh, She-Hulk's terrible. Did you see what they did to Hulk's son? Sure, valid complaint. But he has this complaint, and he didn't watch the whole show. So now he has this hateful complaint from some bullshit that he saw on the internet that somebody else hates, and now he's like, yeah, I hate that too. We all hate how they did Scar. But Scar hasn't come back to the MCU yet. So we don't know if that's how they did him and that's how he's going to be. I almost guarantee he's going to be changed by the next time we see him. It is what it is. But also, the character of Hulk isn't changed by having She-Hulk. It's his cousin. He's still right there. He's in the show. He's all around. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk did not go anywhere. Just now, his cousin also has Hulk powers. I have no issues with this. Tatiana Maslany was gorgeous, and I fucking love Tatiana Maslany, not only as the gorgeous woman she is, but as the actress she was before the MCU, and now as Jennifer Walters. I thought she was awesome as Jen Walters. And she brought the MCU back to sex, right? The MCU fucks now. Captain America fucks. Daredevil fucks, where he always did, but now he fucks She-Hulk in the MCU. And people are mad that she twerked with Megan Thee Stallion. Do you not like ass? You don't like booty? Megan Thee Stallion, one of the all-time gorgeous women in the world right now. That's why she goes by Megan Thee Stallion. She can't even be called Megan the Gorgeous Woman because she's so gorgeous they had to give her a full-on nickname of she's not gorgeous. She's a goddamn stallion. And they're right. Megan Thee Stallion, fucking gorgeous. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of her music, but it's not as bad as Cardi B, let's be real. I find Cardi annoying, but Cardi's still an individual and she's very funny. So I like Cardi, but not for her music, like, you know, but that's my opinion. Other people can love her music and good for you, you know, like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not telling Danny he's wrong in any way, sense, or form. I just think he's being overly critical and overly hateful in not liking one part of something and making it all, oh, it's ruined, it's hateful. That's such a dumb way to look at things, man. Like, you can't just hate things and, oh, it's ruined. Why? Because this one little thing? Like, my roommate's a fucking pussy about Star Wars. He's like, fucking yellow lightsabers? Like, that was his critique he said to me the other day. I was like, oh, what, now you're racist towards colored lightsabers? They were already colors, pal. What, they can't be other colors? They can only be green, blue, and red. Oh, and there's only one purple. Oh. Such a dumb complaint. If that's the type of complaints you have, oh, I didn't watch it because yellow lightsabers. What's a part of yellow lightsaber? You sound fully off the rails. Like, you are fully a non-existent person, and no one should hear your opinions if this is the type of bullshit you're saying. Is all I'm trying to say is my critiques come. I have my prediction, sure, but I watch the film, and I watch every single bit of it, or a TV show. I watch from episode 1 to the goddamn finale, and then I form my opinion if I liked it or disliked it, and I say the things I liked, and I say the things I disliked, and, you know, I weigh my options. If there's more things I liked than things that I disliked, then I liked the project. But that's, what does that word mean? I liked it. If some people get mad at me or other people because they said they liked something and they're like, oh, this was dumb, it was stupid. To you, my friend, to you. If you thought this was dumb, that is your opinion. You are entitled to it. But what you're not entitled to is telling someone else that their opinion is wrong because they liked something. Let them have their opinion, and there's ways to comment around this. You don't have to comment, oh, your opinion's wrong, fuck you. You can comment, hey man, I don't disagree. I didn't like this, and this, and it kind of made my experience worse. That's a valid fucking comment. But, oh, I hated this part, it ruined the MCU, oh, the MCU is fucking dead, oh, it's terrible. That's just some hateful, dumb internet shit that some people are just trying to get clicks and reactions. Like, I might be doing YouTube for views or whatever. I do this mostly for mental health for myself, so I have a place to talk and express my feelings and thoughts. You know, and I don't make money off this shit, so I just do it for fun and because I enjoy it, mostly. And then if it ends up making money, that would be fucking sweet, you know? Like, subscribe to the channel if you think that would be cool, too. But, you know, like, I would love to be eventually going to San Diego Comic-Con and premieres and stuff, but, like, I see that being a distant future for me. Like, I'm only 25. Like, I'm still young as shit. Like, there's no reason to be rushing through life. Like, say I turn 40 and I'm still doing movie reviews and I have 15,000 videos on the channel. I hope by then maybe I'm getting invited to a premiere or two. I actually already got invited to a premiere, but I thought it was a fake email, and it was like, you know, not like a big budget premiere, but it was like these people were like, hey, we're having a premiere for our small budget movie in New York. We love your reviews. Would you come? And I had no idea who it was and no idea who the movie was, so I didn't respond. But like, the more I read it, I was like, damn, this is a legit email, like a legit business accusation sent to my COMICALLYBOSTON@gmail.com email. If you want to reach out in business, you know, whatever, hit me up, I guess. But sorry to those one people I didn't reach back out to. I didn't know if you were real or not, but I probably coulda, shoulda gone to that premiere just for the experience. It looked like a decent movie, but it just didn't really look like my type of movie, but still, it looked interesting. It was like a time travel thing. But I'm droning on, and I've gone completely off the rails. Comment below your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine, spoiler-filled review. Hit me up on my other social medias if you have anything you want to talk about Marvel-wise, the future of Marvel. Comment below, are you on my friend Danny's side there? Do you think Marvel is ruined and they're terrible and Phase 4 is the worst thing to come from Marvel? I would love to hear your thoughts either way, good or bad. I'm here for it all. And regardless of what you say in the comment section, it's not going to change my mind or my feelings towards something, you know? So I would just love to know your thoughts, your feelings towards the MCU. How did you feel seeing Deadpool Wolverine? What did it make you feel coming out of it? Did you express the same things that my thoughts were? Did you want to see more of the how and the whys? Maybe we will. Maybe from this movie, it does quite sound like Deadpool and Wolverine are not done, and that they're going to be coming back together. Maybe in a Deadpool Wolverine 2. You know, maybe this is a new trilogy of Deadpool Wolverine movies. Or maybe it's just kind of like a Secret Wars they'll be in. Or maybe Deadpool and Wolverine will now be this like MCU cameo that they'll just pop up random places all the time. That would be cool, I guess, but I doubt that will happen because they'll just have to keep paying Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds more and more money each time. So, yeah, comment below your thoughts. If you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you. Like this video, smash the subscribe button, and hit that bell so you don't miss future movie reviews. Look me up on my other social medias. Links down in the description below. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video.